Wow. It has been a long time since we have done this, right, Popeye? We got our little buddy ready to fly a mini drone with us inside.
He's pretty happy.
Wow, I think it has been a whole year, or at least...
I think we might have done one this summer.
On a rainy day?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is so crazy. There at one point in time, I feel like, at least when Abby was pregnant, I think we did this, that's all we did, like drones the whole year. Well, we still love drones. We still have our eye on drones. We just took a break from them because, and you know, we periodically jump one on the channel. There were just so many bad ones. The quality control seemed like it was an overwhelming, even more than 50% bad drones, and it just got a little exhausting. We wanted to have fun in the hobby and do some things that we're super passionate about, like flying airplanes and stuff. And ultimately, we were hoping that it would send a message to all these drone manufacturers, because I don't think anyone would have expected us, and we were getting a lot of them for free to review or deep discount because of our channel, and we had a lot to say of what was coming to our channel. Popeye's going crazy. We have the craziest dog in the world. Oh, why? He loves drones. I'm gonna hold it up here because he's crying so much. Come on, Popeye, come get it. Come here, come on. Good boy. We were hoping to send a message to all these drone manufacturers to say, listen, if you don't get your act together, we're done doing this. And I know we're one channel, and it's hard to do anything with a big impact as one channel, but we were hoping that some other channels would follow suit too, because it really needed to happen. Well, you know, we still are out there looking out for you guys, and we love drones still. As a matter of fact, we have quite a few drones that we plan on having on the channel, and it just seemed very appropriate because of the weather today that we jump in front of the camera and fly a cool little micro drone that you can buy on Amazon. He's such a good dog. This is a Snaptain H823H. It is a 3-bladed, well, it's got 4 props, but each prop has 3 blades, little quadcopter with a cool little cage around it. I mean, this is not anything crazy unique that we haven't seen before, but I will say what I like about this is that it has altitude hold with the included transmitter. Also, it comes with 2 USB chargers and 3 flight batteries, and that's awesome. I love when these things come with more than one battery. As a matter of fact, I'd rather just pay a little bit more up front and get 2 or 3 flight batteries as opposed to having to buy everything separate and making sure I'm getting the right battery. So I charged 2 batteries. I think we're only going to need to fly it once because we have a couple other drones that we have in mind to fly, and we'll probably do that right after we fly this drone. So let's see if I still have it. Let's see if I can still fly a micro drone inside. Let's see how Popeye reacts. A heads up to you guys, he will bark, and we'll do our best to turn him down some, but we love life, and we love our doggy, and we love our family. We love sharing this hobby, and so you're gonna hear a little bit of a barking bog. We're the RC Sailors, not the RC let's focus on everything technical about this drone. This is more about sharing the hobby and sharing our life with you guys. So just a little heads up, because I know we have a lot of new subscribers.
Sailor's our last name.
Sailor is our last name, that's right. Thanks, Abby. Let's do this. Let's see if I can remember this right. Generally on these toy-ish grade drones, they are actually rated for 14 plus. A lot of times you want to plug in the battery first. This cord seems to be so short that I think I'm gonna have to put the battery in the tray and then try to finagle the plug in down here. It's not the best setup. Okay, all right, there's an on-off switch. Love that. Let's hit the on-off switch. Our light kicks on. Generally, we turn our radio on next. I always wait a second, so does Popeye. Nothing has happened, so let's throttle up and down. Ah, the light went solid. I still got it. Okay.
Maybe the dog.
Popeye, are you ready for takeoff? Come here, buddy. Isn't he like a little hunting dog? Just pointing at that. Let's see if we can do an auto. You ready? Okay, let's start the motors and throttle up. Oh, this is why I love flying these things for Popeye. Now, believe it or not, I do still fly these off camera some. I still have my own personal collection that I keep around my desk. And just so you know, we're hands-free right now. It has a bit of a drift going on with the altitude hold. It's not perfect, but it's doing a fine job. I mean, that's really going to help a new drone pilot with the assisted altitude hold really well. I'm sure you guys can hear it loud and clear. It sounds rather screamy. And a lot of times when we do our micro drones, I'm still not touching this. We just have a little bit of a breeze in here from our central air unit. It's turned on right now, so
there's no optical flow on this, so that would help it maintain its altitude even better.
But at the current price of about $30, this is really great because I would value this at about $15 to $20. The fact that it comes with 2 extra batteries, so a total of 3, and an additional charger, as well as the spare props, a screwdriver, and the instructions, I think that $30 is extremely fair, even for like a Banggood price. I think you'll be surprised to know that this is actually available on Amazon. So our link in the description box below is for Amazon. Well, enough of the drone just drifting around on its own. Let's actually give it some input. So Abby, let's test your indoor drone tracking skills. Here we go on the lowest beginning rate. Let's do a little 3D action. Whoa!
That was a pretty glare.
Whoa! I like the blue light a lot.
Are there rates?
There are rates. We're going to get to that. So let's go ahead and press the top left. That's an auto land button. I was hoping for rates. Let's see, the same button. It's an auto. We'll let Popeye have his fun. Auto takeoff. Okay, I would assume the top right shoulder would be flips. It always is. But in this case, it's not. It's actually, I think that was rates. Oh, he got it! Well, that's a nice feature to show off, Popeye. You may have noticed that as soon as he touched that and it went off to its side, the props completely shut off. And obviously our little guy was safe because of the cage around here. So Popeye didn't feel a thing. When the drone tipped on its side when he got it, that actually made it go into blinking mode. We should be able to throttle up and down, and we're back. So that's really nice. I think we're going to click the sticks for the flips and rates. A couple things are labeled on here, but not everything. Let's see if we can do a nice auto takeoff again. So when I click the left stick, that increases the rates. As you can see, I'm flying much faster now. We have a lot more pitch and angle to our flight. We click it again, we might have a third rate. We have 3 beeps, which means a third rate. Look how fast we can go now. That is nice. The yaw seems to be a little faster, but not super crazy fast. So all together, we can fly around and do some cool little cyclones. Oh yeah, that's awesome. Well, let's click the right stick because I'm sure that's the flip button. There we go. We've got some nice flips. You know, Abby, I kind of miss the simple days of just getting a little drone that's $30 in the air. It's a lot easier to do this, way easier to do this, than it is to get the airplanes out and have to rely on a good weather day and some skill set to fly. I mean, this takes a little bit of skill, yes. But boy, it's so easy to fly. Just put this in the air. Doesn't even have a camera on it. Let's test Popeye's theory. There we go. Nice job. That just kicks right off as soon as it feels anything tipping it to its side. Do a manual takeoff. Isn't Popeye really funny? He just gets excited about the takeoff and then about 10 seconds of flight. Now if I get down lower and kind of tease him with the drone, you know, he'll get excited and want to chase it and play with it, but he really doesn't get as excited as he does on the takeoff. He loves the takeoff of the drone. Now, of course, at this price range, you're dealing with brushed motors, but also it looks like they're pretty easy access, and you could swap those motors out if you burn them up. Luckily, this drone does have that crash feature. It'll actually turn the motors off if it senses a crash, getting tipped on its side quickly. One of the biggest mistakes people make with their little drones, or even larger ones outside with any brush motors or brushless, they may land in some tall grass, and those props will want to continue to spin because they didn't throttle off or power off. And so the power is still going to the motor, And that is generally what will burn up the motor quicker than anything else. I'm not saying these motors are invincible, but my dad has a drone, the Dromeda Ominous, that he used to fly probably hundreds of times on the same stock motors. One of the most thoroughly tested drones that I've ever personally seen. They can last a long time. That doesn't mean they always will though. Brushless is generally a better option for most scenarios. I'm really happy with this flight time. What do you think, Abby?
I'm very surprised because the video is 12 minutes long, but I haven't restarted, so I think you're at like a 6 or 7 minute flight time, which for a small indoor drone, that's a really good flight.
Yeah, I'm impressed with this.
I guess I just wish the altitude hold was a little bit better.
Yeah, I can agree. We'll see here.
Because we've seen better for cheaper in the past, but I believe like that, what was it, DM104? I think that was the number a while ago. The one that I
got discontinued.
I kicked my feet up on the coffee table while I flew it.
Yes.
It held solid.
I think it's discontinued though.
Yeah.
Like a lot of times what happens, even with the good little mini drones, is these guys get discontinued. And what we advise to do, because when the Chinese manufacturers pump these out, they're not planning for long-term investment in most of these drones. So unless you're an extremely handy person and you can solder and tinker on really small things, when we find there, listen, all right, we're getting feedback to the radio and we're getting a blinking light telling us the battery's low. We want to press auto land. Unfortunately, that doesn't turn off. I wish it did. We're just going to turn the radio off and the drone. What I was saying though is they'll pump X amount of these out, not even really knowing that consumers are going to like them or dislike them a lot of times. And if they get a really good one, you know, they've already manufactured it and probably have moved on to a different model or something, with maybe not having plans to do more of these. So when a good one comes along, the smartest thing to do is buy 2 or 3 of them. If you really think you're going to enjoy it. Maybe you buy one and you love it, then you quickly buy 2 or 3 more in case your one ever crashes and breaks and you just want to continue to enjoy that. We see that happen a lot of times in the hobby. We've seen it in our comments section a lot, and actually we've seen it happen where, you know, a really good little drone comes along, or airplane or anything, and the person buys one, and then because our video maybe was randomly a highly viewed video, more of those drones sold and they sold out, and then the person will come back and say, man, I wish I would have bought 4 or 5 of these because they're so awesome, but unfortunately they're sold out. So I'm not saying this is one that you need to rush out and buy, but I will say that it's surprisingly solid. I was kind of going into this expecting to say, yeah, it's a mediocre drone, nothing special, don't worry about it. But at $30, I do like this.
And it has 3 batteries?
3 batteries and 2 chargers. With that like 8 or so minute flight time. We put it in high rates, we zipped it around, we did some flips with it. So
for that price and for the extra batteries, I can forgive slightly the not amazing altitude hold.
Yeah, and some people would say that for that price they would want to have the onboard camera to work with your phone, but generally those are pretty cheap and don't work amazingly well. They're low quality cameras at that price point. I'm personally happy it doesn't have a little camera. I enjoy just flying this around and letting Popeye chase it. This is just the perfect little drone for something like that. Guys, if you do fly around your pets or anyone in the family or any other people, just be very careful and cautious. I've flown probably close to 1,000 drones now. Popeye has been exposed to this most of his life, and we all know how to do this around Popeye. So be very careful with that. Again, this is rated for 14 plus, even though it does say for kiddos online. Just bear that in mind. And if you're interested, we'll have a link to the description box below. I really like this, and I'm actually looking forward to flying a couple more little mini drones on the channel coming up really soon. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you in the next video.
Bye.